I'm Megan Waldrop, host of the Partners of Commercial Fisherman podcast, an extension of an online community for partners to connect and feel less alone. Our podcast invites fishermen, family, friends, and supporters of the industry to learn, laugh, vent, and hear stories about this incredibly unique way of life. What do you say? Let's dive in. Hey, Partners of Commercial Fisherman. Hope everybody's doing great out there. I'm doing okay. My podcast platform has totally turned itself on its head, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm not sure if the intro music is even going to sound great or even sound like, or even have music. I don't know. But just instead of waiting for this to be perfect, I decided, why the hell am I I'm just going to go talk to my peeps like I normally do, and it'll all be figured out. So let's embrace the imperfection, which is kind of the theme of today's episode. I want to share another letter with a partner of a commercial fisherman who wrote me several years ago. It was really touching. She had read the blog. This is at the time before the podcast. Our podcast is a sweet 1-year-old podcast as of a couple weeks ago. Thanks to you guys, which I love so much. Thank you all for being here. So she wrote in and wanted to comment on some of the blog posts. So I'm just going to dive in. It says, "Hi, Megan. Wow, each one of your blog posts hits me so deeply. I can't tell you how much comfort and hope I find in your posts and how much I can feel your love for Chris." Oh, so sweet. "I continue to ask myself, am I as strong as her? Can I do this? I also felt it when you said, I'm in my prime. I totally feel the same way." She's referring to a blog post called Your Sex Life and Dating a Commercial Fisherman. Whenever Chris first went to Bristol Bay, we'd been dating long distance for a year, and we saw each other about once a month. But he told me that he was going to Alaska, and this was our first season of him going to Alaska, that he was going to be gone for 3 months. Okay. I was like, and I know for some of y'all are like, 3 months, that's nothing. For me back in the day, I was like, 3 months. I'm in my early 30s. I'm living in California. I'm in my prime. And this is a huge sacrifice for me to be holding out for you. I just want to let you know, with all due respect. So that's what she's referring to. If you want to check it out, you can go to Your Sex Life and Dating a Commercial Fisherman. It's pretty funny. So I'm going to go back to the letter. She says, "My fisherman isn't very communicative with his feelings, so I'm often sitting home alone asking myself why. I just want you to know I appreciate your vulnerability and sharing your stories. It has really given me a type of support system and validated certain feelings I feel on a day-to-day basis. So touching and completely humbling, and I am so honored that people read the blog, and I'm so honored that people feel comfortable enough to share their vulnerability as well. And to all those who have shared their vulnerability through letters and comments, you are a part of that, and I so appreciate that. And I want to go into this because a lot of partners of commercial fishermen feel this way when beginning a relationship with a fisherman. And I will say POCFs are stronger than they think. And on a side note, the communication thing, I think many of us realize this. It's an ongoing practice with our romantic partners that pretty much we have to work on for the rest of our lives. So that's why we choose wisely, right? But I want to be transparent. And I don't feel strong all the time. It may seem so through our lifestyle blog because I've had time to process my emotions through several drafts before I publish a post. But for me, writing is a medicine that way. And if you write or journal, you'll find that your emotions will travel from your heart to the brain and then rearrange themselves on the page. And it's always helpful, but it's surprising. Sometimes I feel like I'm reading a different person after writing a post or writing in my journal, because I'm like, oh wait, I actually do grasp these feelings in a different way, and I'm able to, I can gain strength from that. Look how much I've grown just from writing down on the page. And even if it is feeling, distressed or feeling alone or whatever, that's totally fine too. But if you journal or if you're thinking about it, I highly encourage you to try if you haven't already done so, because it's really empowering to see how far you've grown through past entries. Be like, wow, this is where I was a year ago, and look how much I've changed. Or wow, this is a year ago, and look how much remains the same, because fishing is so unpredictable. As we know, the industry is very unpredictable, but so are each of the seasons are as well. So Yeah, okay. I don't feel strong all the time. I'm sure that you guys have realized that if you've been listening on the podcast, you've gotten more of a real-time example of how emotions can arise from me, and I want to say that's healthy. Let's normalize having big feelings, because what we go through is challenging at times, and big feelings help us honor those moments and release them so we can move on with our bad selves. All right? So bottom line, it's okay not to feel strong all the time. It's actually super normal and human not to feel strong all the time. I mean, you can fake it, but that's just going to make things worse because you feel the pressure of having to keep up appearances. And whenever we have these emotions and we cry or we vent and connect with other partners who totally get us, that strength that we gain will skyrocket our independence and confidence by putting us, because we are being put into unfamiliar territory and that we must navigate to find what works best for ourselves and our households. And we do it for our mental health. We need downtime to rest and reset and refill our cups to keep going. And remember, we don't operate on the same timeline as everyone else. So normal rules, quote unquote, societal rules do not apply, which is freaking awesome. Do not apply, which is great. I'm like singing over here with you for you guys. Otherwise, if we're not honest with our feelings and even honest with ourselves about our feelings, it can be difficult. Life can be difficult. But if we're able to have this release and this vulnerability, the rewards are unmatched because we're doing what's right for us. And letters like this are so touching and relatable, and it also, can bring you back to those memories of how you felt when you first started dating your fisherman. Or it can be like, I am there right now, and I know that women who have also been there have moved on and they're able to cope with their feelings. And I will say that, Chris and I are going on, in August, it'll be 9 years that we've been together, which is mind blowing. Longest relationship ever, Avi. But each season has its own type of flavor. And so even if you are 9 seasons in, it can feel challenging. I feel, when Chris and I got married, we've been married for, I can't believe it, 3 years now. The season after we got married was really hard for me. And I felt like I was from our first season. I was kind of struggling a little bit, and I realized that it's okay to have those feelings of struggle, because we need to honor that. We just got married. He's my husband now. It just felt different. It just does. And sometimes I'm like, all right, have a good season. See ya. And I go off and see my friends and everything's great. And sometimes it's kind of in between, but I just want to know that it's okay that it's changing. It's actually really healthy and normal that it changes all the time. And it's something to embrace. This is part of the journey, and this is part of navigating those situations, because that's what makes us stronger and makes our independence and our confidence freaking next level. And I feel that partners of commercial fishermen get a chance to kind of like up level more than any other type of relationship because of that. So if you want to learn more or connect or read more about POCFs in our communities with cool letters like these, which I really love, the one that you just heard, you can head to the lifestyle blog at pocfpride.com. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter on the blog to receive weekly posts and behind the scenes updates. I put pictures in there and I'll share on Instagram and talk about things that are going on personally and throughout our community. And it's really fun. You can go to the subscribe button on the homepage. It's up in the top left corner. And this is totally new. And I'm excited to announce that if you want real-time contact with partners of commercial fishermen just like you, I've opened up the private group chat. I've opened up the private group chat, which was previously only available to forum members, but now it's available to any POCF who'd like to join. And if you are interested, you can go to the blog menu and select register to sign up, and I'll get you in. And it's perfect for those who are at any stage of their relationship with their fishermen and would like extra support during upcoming seasons, or to help navigate the nuances of the off season, because that is also a thing. And we have women in there it's been their first season. This is a couple seasons in, and one that's been in there since, almost 30 years. So, it's really, really great that we have people that are all over the board and can totally relate. And also lots of laughs, I will say, and just really sweet friendship. And it's also really neat to see pictures of people and where they live and how different our lifestyles are and what our experiences are at home as POCFs. Pretty cool. And don't forget, we also have the private forum where you receive new monthly updates and resources that are important to partners of commercial fishermen, with the opportunities to connect with others worldwide. And that's pretty special. And I want to mention, because I had some POCFs ask, so I want to clarify, you're welcome to remain anonymous if you'd like in the private group chat and in the private forum. I vet everybody before they enter the private groups to ensure that only POCFs gain access, so you know that you're speaking to like-minded people just like you and who won't judge you for anything that you're going through and have definitely been there and can offer great advice. I know this was a short one today, but I just wanted to share this because it's just, I always love to read different letters and different types of experiences from partners all over the globe, because it just shows how uniquely special that we are, because not everybody can understand what it's like to sit around a dinner table and get bored talking about boat parts or find the joys of being independent, or, it's some people are like, really? You don't miss your fisherman? Or, oh, you missed your fisherman? You signed up for it? Or, no, we don't do that here. Okay. We are each other's people, and that's the best part. So if you have any questions about anything I mentioned, or you just want to say, hey, you can email support@pocfpride.com. We're here for you. Yeah, and as always, thank you for listening and being a part of our awesome community, because it wouldn't be a community without you. So as always, with love and POCF pride. Till next time. Thank you so much for listening. To support our community, I'd so appreciate it if you'd tap the subscribe button to this podcast or write a review. And if you're a POCF who wants to connect further, go to POCFpride.com for weekly blogs and to learn about opportunities to join our private communities. We'd love to have you.